secondary education student, University of Cebu Manila campus. And one of my academic courses is English 5 or Language, Culture, and Society under Master New Orleans. Today, my guests and I will have a discussion about the cultural challenges when both about by language and gender. So my guest for today is Mr. Branda, and he's also came from the University of Cebu. So he is and now I have my presentation, or we will play a video presentation about. Okay, so now we're going to be watching about why gender inclusive language matters by Wendy Sun. So, okay.
My mother started as a first-year student at the University of North Carolina in 1972. That would not have been possible had she been born just a few years earlier. For most of its history, UNC was an exclusively male institution, like many universities. And while we've come an incredible long way from there, sexism is still alive and well. Indeed, it's living in our language. Now, I'm not talking about words that were designed to denigrate women. Bitch, whore, slut. I'm talking about seemingly innocent words. Words that we hear every day. Perhaps we even speak them. Mankind, man-made, or popular here at Stanford, chairman, fellow. Male-centered words are everywhere. We're taught that all men are created equal. We man tables and use our manpower to elect congressmen who rule in man-made institutions. Oh man! We laugh, but I'm really concerned what these associations do to our unconscious beliefs. How does the perpetual association of male terms with power and with strength, and female terms with insult and with weakness, shape our expectations for men and for women, our expectations of ourselves, or even our self-worth? Children can help us understand just how powerful language can be. My niece Ella is 5 years old. She has 3 older brothers, and I was babysitting for them. And so I asked them, what do you guys want to do tonight? Ella was silent. A little later, as I was tucking her into bed, she looked up to me and she said, Uncle Win, how come you only wanted to know what the guys wanted to do? Why didn't you care about me? My heart sank. Of course I wanted to hear what she had to say. I love Ella's opinion. Sometimes I love Ella the most. I had never meant to suggest that she didn't matter. But that's exactly what I had done through my words. And thank goodness she said something to me. When I had said you guys to her, she took me literally. And quite logically, she felt left out. How often had she felt that way before? How many of you have ever felt that way before? Excluded by language, even if you knew that that wasn't the speaker's intention. Male-centered words are everywhere. When you flip the words around, how many men do you know that feel flattered to be called a woman? Douglas Hofstadter is a philosopher, and what he does is he replaces in a satire male-based generic words with race-based ones. Mankind becomes white kind. Freshman becomes fresh white. Chairman becomes chair white. And in this imaginary world, it becomes pretty ridiculous that we would ever expect people of color to feel included by these terms, or that these terms wouldn't have real and lasting consequences, things that reflect a pretty gruesome history. That's exactly what we do. It's what we do to women, and it's what I did to Ella. Of course, Some women and many women do feel included by these terms, and that's entirely understandable. Women who become congressmen, for example, work incredibly hard to get where they are. They overcome enormous obstacles. They earn the title. When women don't feel included, I've heard them speak up. And then I've watched the eye rolls. I've listened as they get labeled high maintenance, overly sensitive, or much worse. When we use male words or female words to insult women, we communicate a pretty disturbing message. And we communicate the same disturbing message when we use only positive words with male terms. Sociologist Cheryl Kleiman explains that when you use chairman for women, yes, a particular woman can become a chairman, but women as a group cannot. Chairman sets the expectation that chairmen are men. And when a woman achieves that title, she's merely an exception. Never the rule, rarely the expectation. When we use male-based generics, we erase women linguistically. Symbolically, we annihilate them. Now there's a visionary who I love, Marilyn Frye, and she imagines all of this gender inequality as essentially a bird cage that traps women inside. There are many, many wires to the cage. One wire is the wage gap. Another wire is sexual harassment. Another one is men's violence against women, and there's sexist English. The point here is that there are many, many wires. And these wires, no wire by itself traps the bird inside. It's all of the wires working together in combination that creates a prison. We can break that prison. With so many wires, I often get asked, why focus on language? Aren't there other wires that are more important? Let me be clear. Every wire is important. Every wire deserves to be broken. And every wire that we break creates a new opening. I like to single out sexist language for 3 reasons. The first reason is that everyone has the power to break this wire. It's entirely within our control. Each of us decides constantly what words we're going to say, what we're going to type in a text message, put in an email, what language displays on our websites or goes in official publications that we put out there. Language is a choice that we make constantly. It's our choice. The second reason is that we can break this wire right now. You don't have to wait. It's so much easier to start saying you all today than it is to close the wage gap tomorrow. Of course we should do that too. The third reason is that gender-inclusive language is inclusive of everyone, even men. It doesn't harm anyone when you switch to inclusive terms. Instead, it proactively signals your commitment to women. And what more powerful message to send. I want to acknowledge that while this solution is really simple, that doesn't make it easy. Male-dominated words are everywhere. They're deeply embedded in our culture. Getting rid of them requires intention. It requires unlearning. It requires a community to hold one another accountable. So let's do this together. Let's stop using gendered words and replace them with gender-neutral options. Freshman becomes first-year student. Chairman becomes chair. Arbuckle fellow becomes Arbuckle coach or scholar or leader. You guys becomes you all. Or if you're like me from the South, y'all. Language is a tool of thought. It's a tool for building community, and it's a tool for breaking bird cages. Each of us has the power to create the world that we want to be in. So do we want a language that reflects our history of excluding and diminishing women? No. Do we prefer a language that aspires towards something much more inclusive for our future, for our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, our nieces? Your decision to become a gender-savvy speaker is a decision to build this world, a world that takes women seriously. Cheryl Kleiman teaches But sex, or the inclusive language, is the resource that each of us has at the tip of our tongues. Let's start tasting its freedom today. Thank you.
Okay, so now after we watch the video about gender inclusive why language matters by Wen Chi-sun, can you see or do you agree with the speaker?
Yes, I agree with what he has said. He delivered a fairly referenceable gender inclusions.
Okay, alright, so here's my second question. For the video, what unforgettable statements did you cite?
So I did not forget the statement when he said his mother studied at the Northern Carolina University, which is exists and was alive.
Yeah. Okay, so now, as a language speaker, what is your overall reaction to the video?
This is very impactful because I have two sisters and I know they would not be okay for that situation. And if we put or imagine if the system is still alive, on this country women will be obsessed because they know and they believe they have strength to show. And I believe what can men do also, women can do so. So from the statement system is still, it is so very embarrassed to hear to take their opportunities to show their strength.
We as an individual, we have our freedom to speak up, and there's no, there's no discrimination about language. So here's my additional questions to you. So, for you, what is language? That's what you have watched the video. It stated there that language is a tool of communication. So for you, no, it's for your own opinion. What is gender equality?
Okay, for me, gender equality is, unlike the past that woman is being discriminated by, they are only limited for being like an household wife. Right now, this time, 20th century, women have the power the same as men. They have the power to like run as a, unlike the past, only men can be a president, and today any gender can be a president.
Not all men has the power, but also women. No, right?
Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
So, why it is important to have a language equality as an individual? Like, you know, you are a man, and then how about women?
So for me, it is needed to have a language equality because we need to put more action about discrimination about women and men.
It's also important to have a freedom. Okay, so continue now.
Continue sa.
You can continue your answer. Don't talk Bisaya, please.
Giputol ako answer gaga. Okay, so language equality.
Why? Yeah, why it is so important, and why does it matter to us?
Language equality.
Yeah,
Uh,
language equality.
for me, language equality is very important so that we don't discriminate each other, like not just by gender but also by color. That's all.
Okay, that's all.
Naputol na yun, kaya mo giputol ko sa akong kwan.
Okay, so when Chisan stated that all men and women, or we as an individual, we have a freedom to speak up, and then no discrimination, right? Okay, so that wire we can break it. No, I'm right. Am I right?
Yes.
So what wire? What kind of wire? Like discrimination, like judgment, right? No, mga harassment, playing some words about language. We can break it, and we have our freedom. So it's our own choice because language is a choice, and no one can break it. No. Okay, so thank you for listening today, and I am so very flattered now, and I really appreciate it. And anyway, give yourself a clap.
I am very pleased to be your guest tonight. So thank you for inviting me for this very wonderful
Did you gain the learning learning today?
Yes, a lot of learning.
Wow, nice one.
Thank you so much for
So
inviting
happy
me.
to meet you now.
I hope
Today.
you will invite me next time too. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you too. And yeah, thank you for your time. And have a great day.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you for inviting me.